Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Don't walk before me, I may not follow. Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Just walk beside me and be my friend. Together we'll walk in the land of Hashem. Hey, oh, oh, hey, hey, oh, oh, hey. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, and before we get started, I want everyone to just take a few moments. First, check your phones. Go ahead and get that out of the way. Make sure everyone's on silent or off. I just checked my iPad across the room to make sure it doesn't go off as well. And before we get started, I want everyone to just take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Go ahead and take another one. I feel like we might need it this week. As we get ready to enter into Shabbat, I didn't ask them before the service, so this is going to be a surprise. But we're going to turn to page 120 and page 122, and I'm going to ask Howard and Cheryl Katz to lead us in lighting the candles and blessing us in Kiddush. You can find those prayers on 120 and 122, 123.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Good job.
Vayera vayivoker yom hashishi vayichulu hashemayim v'oretz v'chol tzavam vayechal Elohim b'yom hashvi melachto asher asa vayishbot b'yom hashvi mikom melachto asher asa vayavorech Elohim et yom hashvi v'kadesh oto kivot shavat mikom melachto asher bar Elohim la'asot Baruch Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kadsho b'avov ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maseh bereshit, ki hu yom techila l'mikroi kodesh, zecher l'tziyat mitzroyim. Kivanu v'charta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, b'yahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Great juice.
Thank you. I want to start with the words that Rabbi Gervis shared in the blast earlier this week. It was something that I really, when I read it, it struck me, and I thought this is something that we should incorporate tonight. And these were the words that he shared, and they're from it's an anonymous writing, so we're not sure exactly who this comes from, but it comes to us via way of Rabbi Gervis. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world the best you've got anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. I invite you to turn now to page 138 as we join together our voices in singing Lecha Dodi. We'll sing verses 1, 2, and across the page, verses 5 and 9, rising on the 9th verse, as is our tradition. Lecha Dodi, page 138. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad ishmi'anu, el ha'meyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shemul tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor ha'veracha merosh mikedem nesucha, sov ma'aseh b'machsheva techila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hidoreri, hidoreri, ki
va'orech kumi ori uri uri shir daberi kevod Adonai alayich nigla Lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Boi v'shalom ateret bala Gam besimcha ובצולה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לחדודי לי Grat kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela Lechadoti likras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai lai
While we've risen, we take a moment to wish each other Shabbat Shalom and to welcome each other.
Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lechadoti likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 lai
I invite you now to turn to page 145 at the very bottom of the page as we read that short prayer together. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence.
Yitgadal v'yitgada shemei rabba ve'almad v'rach erotei ve'amlik malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayerecho beit Yisrael bagala bagala ubizman kariv v'imeru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach le'alam ulal me'almaya yitbarach yitbarach vayishtabach v'yitbar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei kedusha Berechu le'ele min kol birchata v'shirata Tush bechata v'nechemata Damiram Be'alma Vimeru Amen.
Responsively at the bottom of page 147. O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthermost star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and the warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. I invite you to rise.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Baruchu et Adonai, Amen. Baruch Adonai, Amen. Le'olam va'ed. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai.
Together at the bottom of 149. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? What shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. As you taught Torah to those names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
You may be seated. This week's Torah portion, I know we are going to Move things out of order just a little bit, but this week's Torah portion, Parshat Bo, tells the story of the Exodus, which began last week with the first 7 plagues. This, the defining moment in Jewish history, reaches its climax in our portion this week. After having hardened his heart and having his heart hardened for him, Pharaoh and his people are dealt a devastating final blow with the last 3 plagues, not just losing money, time, and service like before, but this time their own lives. And so at last the Israelites are freed, and they set forth into the wilderness on their way to Sinai. So strong is this story, this identity, that we traditionally recite words from this moment throughout much of our prayer service, and one such time is Ve'ahavta. In the morning, in the evening, at home, and in the synagogue, when we rise and before we sleep, the Ve'ahavta reminds us to remember, to teach, and to act. It's not just a recitation of faith, it is a mandate of continuity. Now, the words of Ve'ahavta are not found in Parashat Bo. They're found later in the Torah, but many of the words that later find their way into Ve'ahavta are previewed or premiered here in Parashat Bo. And one of the ways that these two are linked is through a shared responsibility to the text, to teaching the next generation. Ve'ahavta says, "Teach them to your children and speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk on your way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up." Indeed, passing on Jewishness to the next generation is what sustains our communities. Without children, without students, whether they are our own or those we bring into Jewish life, there is no future and no reason together. And so we teach not just the stories of the past, but the central commandment of Ve'ahavta itself: you shall love. In just over 2 months, we will celebrate Pesach, when we will hear these words from Parshat Bo. "And you shall explain to your child on that day," hear those words, "and you shall teach your children, and you shall explain to your child on that day, saying, it is because of what Adonai did for me when I went free from Egypt." This verse links past, present, and future, teaching the past to secure the future is not just enough if we don't fully live in the moment. And so the Torah asks us, what has God done for me? What am I doing for God? And this too we teach our children. Another way these Ve'ahavta and Parshat Bo are linked together is that they instruct us to remember and to teach through signs and symbols, both literal and figurative. In Ve'ahavta from Deuteronomy, it says, "You shall bind them as a sign upon your hand, and let them be symbols between your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates." From Parshat Bo in Exodus, "And it shall be for you as a sign on your hand and as a reminder between your eyes, so that Adonai's Torah may be in your mouth. For with a strong hand Adonai brought you out of Egypt." Both passages teach that our relationship is not just about words or history. It's meant to be worn, to displayed, to be lived. The words of Torah are not just to be studied, but bound to our bodies and inscribed upon our homes. In the same way, our memory of redemption is not just an intellectual exercise, but one that shapes our actions. Further, in Parashat Bo, we see a literal smearing of blood over the doorposts of the house in order to protect the Israelites in the final plague. This is, again, not the figurative symbol, but an actual sign that was put over the doors. "And thus you shall remember and observe all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God." That is from Ve'ahavta. But from Parshat Bo it says, "Remember this day on which you were free from Egypt, the house of bondage, how Adonai freed you with a mighty hand. No leavened bread shall be eaten." Memory and action are thus intertwined. The Exodus is not just something that happened, it's something we live. The Ve'ahavta calls us to teach, to remember, and to love with all that we are. And so does Parashat Bo, which commands us to teach ourselves and to live for ourselves and for the generations that follow. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May this be God's will. And now we join together in the words of Ve'ahavta. You can find those, we'll chant those together on page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol lavavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha ve'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha Beshinantam levanecha vadibarta baham Beshivdecha beveitecha uvlechtecha vaderech Uvishochbecha uvkumecha Ukshartam leholt al yadecha Vehayu letotafot beineinecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha Leman tizkeruhu v'asitem et kol mitzvotai V'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Amen. Responsively at the bottom of page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Nora tehilot, osei vele, Nora tehilot, osei vele, Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. Malchutecha rahu banecha, bokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze Elianu ve'amru, ze Elianu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Nora tehilot, osei vele, Nora tehilot, osei vele, Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. Hashkivenu is a prayer that it has a partner in the morning service. The Hashkivenu prayer is may we lie down in peace and rise up. The morning prayer is thank you for giving me back my soul that I may rise up. And we do different things with the Hashkivenu prayer. Tonight we're going to sing, it's Dan Nichols' version of Hashkivenu, and it's the one that has a little bit of English in it, spread the shelter of your peace over us. We've done it a few times, so join me with the lyrics as much as you know. Hashkivenu Adonai, obviously, is written in the text. The text is written in the Siddur, so join me. Hashkivenu, spread over us your shelter of peace. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Spread the shelter of your peace. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu shalom V'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Lechaim. In the Siddur, we encounter lots of different names for God, whether it's Malkeinu, our king, or Shomreinu, our ruler. They both mean the same thing. Whether it's Adonai, the substitution for the name of God, or maybe it's Yah, the first part of God's name, Eloheinu, our God, or Eli, my God. There are plenty of places for you to interject your own relationship, how you relate to the God of heaven and earth. And it is this time in our prayer service, throughout the entire service, that we try to draw ourselves into those things which draw us closer to God. So I encourage you, if you hear a different name or if you use a different name, that's okay. It's perfectly fine. These prayers are your prayers, and they're intended to be from you to God. And so we continue with those prayers on page 162 with the singing of Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam
oti leolam v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat asot et hashabat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. So one of the ways that I have discovered that really helps memorize or learn Hebrew is if you make everyone in the house, to the chagrin of my husband and dog, if you make everyone in the house learn Hebrew at the same time. And there are lots of interesting things that come up as everyone is doing this at the same time. And so one of the things when we're outside and the dog is bothering us and he's pawing at us and he doesn't want to do, so I've been practicing my Hebrew with him. And one of the things that I'll say to him is, ma'ata rotzeh, or ma rotzeh. You don't have to put ata in. That word rotzeh is, what do you want? What do you want? That word rotzeh, a version of it makes an appearance in our next set of prayers. The prayer is ritzeh. And in that prayer, we're asking Adonai to find favor on us. But I like those moments where when we're looking at Hebrew in its raw form, and we recognize that find favor with us sounds so stiff as compared to want us, which is essentially what we're saying in Ritzeh. And so there are those moments where the Hebrew kind of comes alive all of a sudden. You're like, oh, that's what that means. And so I share that with you because there are those moments as we all do our study where we identify with a certain prayer or something really sticks out to us and we zero in on that. And so I invite you as we join in Tefillah on page 164. We're going to rise. We'll continue on the even pages, 164, 66, 68, and 70. Y'all know those pages. And then we'll continue after that silently. But I invite you to make these prayers your own. Find something in there that you identify with, whether it's want me, whether it's heal me, whether it's give us peace. Find these prayers and make them your own as we turn to 164. Adonai sepaitai tiftach ufi agitahi latecha. Adonai sepaitai, that my mouth may declare your praise. Good job. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומשיח מגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיה מתימת הרב להושיע משיב הרוח ומרעיד הגשם מכלכל חיים בקצר, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומק נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו, בשני עפר, מי כמוך בגבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך בית ולחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Whether it is the words of the Siddur or the words of your own heart, I invite you to continue praying silently through page 181. You may be seated when you are ready. יהיו לרצון אמרתי, יהיו לרצון אמרתי, וגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Ose shalom bimromam, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, ve'imeru. Amen. I invite you to rise. You may be seated. With a Sefer Torah in our midst, it is our tradition to pray as a community for all in our community who are sick, whether that's physically or spiritually or emotionally. On our list tonight, we have Hall Bailey, Sue Ray Bishop, Gavin Brannon, Lauren Rosamond Brown, Ruth Corder, Philip Gordon, Bill Gotthelf, Elizabeth Harrington, Eric Herron, Jerry Jacobs, Harry Kolodny, Andrew Lewis, Philippa Newfield, Robert Pack, Jerry Prince, Damian Riggs, Yolanda Henderson Riggs, Art and Joyce Solomon, Michael Sawyer, Betty Shornick, Gilbert Solik, Carol Joy Sparkman, Alyssa Rybinski Stein, Catherine Weiner, and our dear ones in Israel, Gabriela Ravinsky Ott and family, Shoshana Borum and family, Sipi and Rafi Ben Talila, Galia Bonet and children, Miriam Britt and family, Jacob Korkus and family, Sarah Cohen Korkus and family, the family of Alexandra Sklar, Ron and Shlamit Granot, Ilan Gressel, Jonathan Gressel, Noam Gressel, Macy and Tamar Granot, Rabbi Stuart Clammer and family, Sarit Ozeri and Renat McDonald, the Parker family, Francine Sherwood, Yara and Evan Wertheim, Alex Wiseman and family. And I know we've all been watching the news, and until we see that everything is safe and sound, we will continue to have our names of our Israeli friends and family on our Mishaberach list. If there are any names that I may have mispronounced or any names you would like to add, please let me know as I indicate to you. Together as a community, we join in the words of Mishaberach. You can find those words on page 371.